So I thought that I should tell you my experience about how I went to Australia and what I did over there and so on, and also why did I left Australia. So basically, I went to Australia at the beginning of August. I just wanted to get a little bit new experience, like what is the life over there and how things are working over there. And that's why I decided to make a working holiday visa, and that is the time when I went there. So basically, like for the first 2.5 weeks, I was in Sydney. I was living in a hostel and I was trying to find a work in there. And after the 2.5 weeks, I got a job in Queensland near Bundaberg. So I flew from Sydney to Queensland. At first, like couple of days, I also stayed in Brisbane. I really liked Brisbane. For me, I liked more Brisbane than Sydney because for me, Brisbane was much more greener. Also, it was much warmer outside when I was in Brisbane because when I got to Sydney, it was super cold. It was raining all the time, and it was really cold outside. And when I got to Brisbane, it was like completely different weather, and yeah, it was nice. I really liked Brisbane compared to Sydney. And after I stayed in Brisbane for a couple of days, then or like 4 or 5 days or something, then I went to near to Bundaberg, and over there I started working at the flower farm. And in this flower farm, I had to pick sunflowers. So basically, it meant that the tractor was there were like really long rows, and there were like 6 people were walking next to us, and then there was a tractor what was going in front of us really slowly, and then you had to pick the sunflowers and put the sunflowers to the belt which was on the tractor. And then after when we had picked the sunflowers went to the fridge, and from there the sunflowers were packed and sent to different flower markets. And yeah, like depending of the day, we picked like a lot of sunflowers. For example, in some days we had to pick like 5 trailers. So basically, it meant that with the 5 trailers, we picked like 15,000 flowers or something like that. And this job I did about 3 weeks or something, or like a little bit more. I don't remember exactly. And then I decided to go to a training in West Australia to learn how to drive a tractor and chase turbine. So basically, the training was 3 or 4 days, and over there they taught you how all over the farm work goes, and how to work with sheep, and how to work with tractors. So basically, we learned a little bit like how to work with a front loader tractor, and how to do the pre-start checks and so on, and also how to drive with a John Deere tractor and chaser bin. And after I finished the training, I started applying to all different kind of like job advertisements. And from the training, from the lady who was making the training, she offered me a job like 5 hours from Perth in a farm, which was a hay farm and grain farm. And the job was to be like a family cleaner and make the food for the harvest workers and so on. And don't get me wrong, the family was really nice, and the lady and the kids and the husband also was really nice. But actually, the job, it wasn't quite what I wanted to do, because my whole point was to get to work on some kind of machinery. And that is also the reason why I went to the training, to get some experience with machinery and know how things work and so on. But when I started applying to get the job as a machinery operator and or like to get the chaser bin driver job, it was super hard. Like for me, it was so weird that even though I had written in my resume that I had been to a training where I have already learned a little bit like how to drive the tractor and chaser bin, like all the advertisements say that they need someone with experience. But for me, it's like, how can you get the experience if nobody will take you to the job? Because it's like I have written everything correctly and truthfully out in my CV and or like in my resume, and basically you just don't get the job. Only way you can get the job is like if you lie. So basically, it was like I know one guy who was saying that, oh yeah, he got the tractor job just because he lied. So the situation with him was that um, he had talks with some farmer, and the farmer asked all kind of different questions about tractors and so on, and the guy just told him like all kind of stuff. And after I asked like, okay, and now you got the job, but do you know how to drive a tractor or how you will do this job? And he was like, no, before I'm gonna go to work, I'm just gonna look a YouTube video or something, and then everything will be okay. And for me, it's like I already have some experience. I know like how the tractor works, and I have sit in the tractor and like I have driven around with it a little bit, and I don't get the job, but the people who lie get the job. So basically, for me, it was like insane. So it's like the only way you can get the job in Australia is like if you lie, and for me it's like a closed circle, because you want to get the job, you have like some training already behind your belt, and they only want people who have experience. But how can you get experience if nobody will take you to the job? So yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get the machinery job, and I was working as a cook and a cleaner for the family for about 2.5 weeks. And the case was that when I was working for the family, the house where I was living and the house where I was working, the distance was about 5 kilometers. So I had to drive back and forth with the car they gave me, which was only meant to be driven in the farm area, because they didn't have some kind of like a license or something like that to drive it on like the bigger road or go to the town or something. So basically, I was living in this building alone. The building was next to the field, and I only saw people when I went to work. And at some point, I started to feel quite lonely, honestly. So because like if you are staying in the house where you are living all alone, and like there is no other people around, and like the house is like next to the field, and you also can't take car to go to, for example, to the store or something, or like get out of the farm for like a little bit or something. So yeah, I started feeling quite lonely, and I got little homesick. And yeah, that was, and also because I couldn't get like any machinery job or anything, so I decided to come back home. Yes, like in our nation, we like our like own room, and we like our own space and so on. But for me, because I was all the time alone in there, for me this space was getting actually like a little bit too much. So that's why I decided that I would like to come home. And also because the pay, like the salary, wasn't like that much bigger from the salary what I earned in here, like only a couple of like only like couple hundred euros more or something. So then I was like, if I don't feel myself good in there, and I'm not happy to be there, so then what's the point being there? And also because I'm already in that age that in our country you can only make a working holiday visa until you are 31, and I couldn't also extend my working holiday visa for a second year because of the age restriction already. So I was like, okay, like there's no point for me being there if I'm not happy and I don't want to be there. So this is the reason why I decided to come back home. There was no other like bad reason or anything like that behind it. Of course, I was a little bit sad to come home because I wanted to have a like little bit different experience. I wanted to travel around more in there and also see more places. But I was like, I was planning to stay in Australia for about like April or May because that is the time when we will have spring in here and it will start getting warmer in our country. And because I was feeling like quite lonely and stuff, then I also didn't see the point to stay there until like April or May or something like that. And also because I couldn't extend my stay for the like the second year visa, so I didn't also see any point to buy a car also for the only for the 4 months. So yeah, this was the case why I decided to come home. But yeah, I also like before I went to the bus and went to the airport and so on. So I got to go to a like IGA store quite quickly. So I thought that I should also show you what I like, what kind of sweets or biscuits I bought from there. So yeah, like as a taste test for my family and so on. And also, yeah, these are the things what I found in the store, and I think these were pretty good to take home. So the first thing is these kind of I think in Australia they call it lollies or like these kind of like gummy candies or something like that. So yeah, these seemed interesting, so that's why I decided to get those. Then I also got Sour Patch Kids. Like back home in here, we also can buy these Sour Patch Kids, but they are quite expensive. So that's why I also decided to buy one pack of these also. And then I found from the store these kind of M&Ms. So this is like a mixed bag. So in here you have like the chocolate M&Ms. You also have the peanut butter, like the peanut M&Ms, and you also have the crunchy M&Ms. And in Estonia we don't have like a packet like this. So this is also the reason why I decided to get it. And of course you can't go to Australia if you don't get Tim Tams. So these are the original ones. I tried the original ones in Australia and I really like the original ones. But the thing is that they are quite expensive still. It was like the one pack was like in IGA, it was like $6.90 or something. So in Australian dollars. So yeah, quite expensive. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna come to Estonia, and over here we can't get those. So and because I also wanted my brother and my mom to try those, so that's why I got those. And there is only 11 biscuits inside the packet. So yeah, the original ones I have tried and I really like them. And I also got the caramel ones. I don't know how they are, but yeah, I was like, okay, there were different kind of Tim Tams, so I decided to get different flavors and so we can try them at here. And then I also got the double coated Tim Tam. There should be like a double chocolate on it, I think so. And I also got the white chocolate Tim Tam. So yeah. And also I got the wagon wheels. The lady who I worked for, she suggested that I should get those. That when she was younger, so these were the biscuits that she used to eat, and in the wagon wheels it says that it is chocolate coated marshmallow and jam snack. So yeah, this sounds interesting. So these are the sweets and biscuits I got from Australia with me. I also had like the Cadbury frog, like these little frog chocolate. And also I got the caramel koala, but we already ate them. So that's why I can't show you the packet. But yeah, these were the things I brought back with me from Australia. So it's about 10:04 and I decided that I should come my room because soon we're gonna have winter and now she's shedding all her old fur and now trying to get new one onto growing her. So I decided that I should comb her because our whole house is full of fur. So yeah, especially right now because like there is so much fur what is coming off of her. But nice to see you. Sit. You play. Yeah. So yeah, right now it's Wednesday. We have about like 10 degrees outside or something, and it's really misty and gloomy and so on, and unfortunately usually it's like totally normal for us because we live in this kind of area and our autumns are quite misty and rainy and so on. Look how much fur it's coming already. But yeah, I have been back in Estonia now like week and a half or something. Sorry if the light is changing and so on because I'm sitting quite far. Okay, there is car coming, so let's wait for the car. But yeah, I have been back in Estonia about like week and a half, and I have been searching for the job quite heavily. So basically, it means that I have been to the job. Oh, the fur is flying everywhere. So basically, it means that I have been every day to the job searching sites, trying to find some kind of job, and I have been applying to different places and so on. I have also been to a couple of places, like two places to have a how do you call it? like I have went to their place and had a interview with them. One place said that they decided to go with someone other, and for the other place I'm gonna go and have like a trial day with like 4 hours or something. So yeah, it's I think I have applied, like I have sent out like 20-30 resumes to different companies and so on. So yeah, but I will continue do it until I will get the job. But yeah, of course I'm a little bit nervous, like when I will get the job, or how I will get the job, or how long I have to wait for it, or because my main goal is to get the job as fast as possible. And I'm also applying to like all kind of different jobs, like into the shops, and also like to a similar job. Istu, istu, istu. Tubli. I told her to sit down. And I have also applied. The car is coming again. Like I have applied to work in a store, and then I also have applied to work in a similar place what I used to do before. But yeah, it's like you apply, but yeah, hopefully I will get the job soon. But yeah, what can you do? But yeah, I have to be hopeful, and I'm also ready to work in multiple jobs also at the same time. If I need to, for example, I could also take like a part-time job in one place and part-time job in another place. But yeah, let's see how the things will go. And I just remembered that like a couple of days ago I was speaking with my friend, and we were speaking like about like some kind of posts we have seen in internet, what people have been posting, and like things that drive us mad or something. And one thing what drives us mad is like how people only post like perfect stuff in the internet, like to Instagram or Facebook, or I don't know, like TikTok or Snapchat or whatever. I don't use TikTok or Snapchat. I I mainly use like Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and so on. But yeah, we are fed up that people are only posting like tõsi, tule siia, tule siia, mis sul siin on. Where the people are only posting like only like the perfect stuff, like how they have perfect like marriages and perfect kids and perfect car and perfect house, and absolutely everything is perfect, that their kids never cry and they don't make any mess at all, like and they are like little angels and so on, and like they never argue with their partners and so on. And we're like, why are you only posting like the perfect stuff like online? Why can't you post like the normal stuff, like how the things really are in your life? Like I'm sure that people don't have like perfect lives. So basically, like I'm sure that everybody has their some kind of arguments with their partners. Everybody has problems with their children, and but yeah, we are sick of the like that everybody wants to betray, like show that everything is perfect and there is nothing bad or wrong going in their lives. So we're like, but we like to see like the real life, like how you don't have like perfect stuff all the time. Like why won't people post like what really happens in their lives? So my idea also is like, if I'm making this channel, I want to post like real stuff on my channel. Like if I have good days, if I have bad days, if I have hard days, I want to show like how the real life is as much as I can. Because like what is the point of showing only like the good things when actually this is not true? So yeah, we are sick of the perfect lives and everybody showing that everything is perfect when clearly everything can't be perfect all the time. So yeah, these I have been just rambling stuff and so on. So yeah, these are just my my thoughts and things I have this morning. But yeah, I'm gonna continue calming my dog more because she has still very much